Hello, good morning. I'm Samantha Simmons. Joining us for the show, Paul Kohler, the Liberal Democrat MP for Wimbledon, and Clive Efford, Labour MP for Eltham and Chislehurst. Welcome to you both. Great to have you on the programme. And if you want to join in the conversation at home, you can find us on social media at BBC London News. Just use the hashtag #PoliticsLondon. Well, I want to start with the news that the Metropolitan Police, faced with a budgetary black hole of £260 million, is cutting 1,700 officers and staff, which is an almost 4% cut to the existing number of 44,500. Services, including the Royal Parks, police and youth engagement officers in schools, will go, and the forensic, mounted and dog teams will be cut back. Well, Clive, to you first. Amid soaring knife crime, record numbers of phone theft, shouldn't the government have done more to prevent these cuts? Well,
record money is going into the Metropolitan Police from the Mayor, 1.16 billion, and that's the highest that the Mayor has been able to put in to the Metropolitan Police ever.
But it's not enough, is it?
Well, the cuts that have occurred over the last 14 years under the Conservatives, it's not just police. You can go to schools, you can go to the NHS, you can go to social care, the court service, whatever. The state that our public services were left in by the previous government is unbelievable, and it's going to take time to repair that damage. But Sadiq has been successful in putting nearly 1,000 officers back into our community policing with the money that he's been able to put in. But unfortunately, he hasn't got the resources to backfill the hole. The proportion that he's been putting in has gone up from 2016 to 19% to 25% today. So a quarter of what the Metropolitan Police spend comes directly from the Mayor, and he has increased what he's invested in the Metropolitan Police over that period of time.
Should the government be stepping in?
Well, gradually, I think the government will step in, because clearly this government has prioritised safer neighbourhoods and policing in general. But we can't repair everything at once. It just is an example of the state of the finances of public services that we've inherited.
OK, Paul, what's your view? We're seeing this cut here of 4%. How many police officers does London need to keep us safe, do you think?
It needs more than it has at the moment. Neighbourhood policing is crucial, absolutely crucial to people's feeling of safety. Since 2015, under Sadiq, they've lost 2/3 of their neighbourhood policing. Now, I talked to Sir Mark Rowley recently about this. He wants to increase the number of neighbourhood police officers, but he needs the money. Now, we have a Labour Mayor, a Labour government. They need to give him the resources.
So do you think that there is conflict here between who's to blame? Is it the Met? Is it the government? Where do you think the blame lies and the responsibility?
Well, I wouldn't blame the Met. They want to do a good service and they don't have the resources. We have to resource our police properly. Fear of crime is rising across London because of the aggressive shoplifting, rising in car theft, in mobile phone theft. We need to do something about it, and we need to fully fund our police force.
Clive, in your view, what's the most damaging cut here?
I think the most damaging cut will be across the board in terms of the Metropolitan Police's role to be able to keep people safe in London. But the government has put additional funds in. The gap in their funding was £450 million. That extra money has reduced that gap. But it is, as I say, it's an example of what we have inherited. And you can't expect the government to be able to resolve all of these funding problems for public services that have grown over 14 years in 1 year. It isn't possible, as much as the government would like to put more in. But record amounts are being put in by the Mayor, and 25% of that funding for the Met now comes directly from the Mayor. It was only 16%, 19% when he came in. So that shows his commitment to investing in the Metropolitan Police.
Paul, is that fair enough? And also, are some of these cuts justifiable when we look at where they're coming from? Royal Parks Police, youth engagement officers in schools, forensic, mounted, and also dog teams. Perhaps there is excess here, do you think? Excess fat?
I'd like to hear why. They're all incredibly useful, and Mark Rowley is very, 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 very proud of them. The reality is, yes, I understand what Clive is saying. There's not enough money. Therefore, Labour have got to grow the economy. But why are they not doing obvious things like re-engaging with Europe? They're doing nothing to re-engage with Europe. That's how we will grow the economy. That's how we'll pay for our public services. Okay. And all these red lines...
Well, I agree with the point of growing the economy, but the other rubbish I'd not agree with.
OK, well, we'll leave that there.